celebrating a century of faith. In the summer of 1995, after 12 years of ministry at Lakeview Church, Glenn and Nancy Teal moved to Michigan to pastor a Free Methodist church there. The board led the whole congregation through an extensive search process, and Dean Angel was affirmed as senior pastor. Dean had been our youth pastor since 1988 and had successfully adapted the seeker approach in youth ministry so that outreach focus continued. As our mission statement affirmed, we reach out to seeking friends as we become committed followers of Jesus Christ.
Hey everybody, my name is Dean Angel and I was a pastor at Lakeview Church from 1988 to 2008. I was just about 8 years as the youth pastor there, working with junior and senior high kids, and then I was the lead pastor in the big church for 12 years. I would describe those years as, when I was talking to people, I would describe them as fun and fast and young, and so many people came to faith in Jesus Christ, and so many people found faith for the first time, and their families found this amazing community to be part of. It was really electric. It wasn't just fun, and it wasn't just young and fast, but it was something magnetic about it.
Lakeview was in a period of unprecedented growth. Music and drama continued to be a part of each service, along with practical, relevant messages from Pastor Dean. Inviting new friends continued to be a priority. Reverend Nancy Yee comments on her experience. During the 1990s, I was a seeker, someone looking for God, but not necessarily knowing what that meant, or even having the right words to describe what was happening deep within my soul and spirit. Because of God's grace, the Holy Spirit infilled the congregation with God's amazing life and light force to serve together in such a way that the unchurched and non-believers could hear the gospel and be saved. I would not be here now, a priest in good standing in the Anglican Church, ministering to so many in the name of Christ, if it were not for the heart of those at Lakeview Church who were so faithful in their commitment to follow Jesus. Ministry at Lakeview Church continued. Leadership retreats for staff and volunteers nurtured the development of spiritual gifts. Small groups that met during the week allowed for a sense of community and biblical teaching.
Most people had never ever told their story about their life, and what a privilege it was for me to hear many, many people's stories and how God had worked and was working in their lives. What a privilege.
Congregation grew in number. More staff was brought on to meet the needs of various age groups. Volunteers, called the unpaid servants, were recruited to serve alongside the staff in the programs offered throughout the week for children, young teens, high school age, and college groups.
But the most amazing thing about that time wasn't even the changes in style, as amazing as they were. It was the passion of the people. It was like we knew that this was the moment, like this was all or nothing. We got ready to bet it all on the fact that we could reach our community.
As more and more people came to faith in Jesus, more services were added. Soon, we were holding 5 services each week, 1 on Saturday night, 3 on Sunday morning, and 1 praise and worship service on Wednesday evening. Morris Hilderman, the music director until 2000, recalls leading music at the beginning of 1 service in the sanctuary, and then while Pastor Dean preached, the music and drama team would rush to the gymnasium and start another service there. We were simply running out of space, and we began to seek God's plan for the future.
Oh, it did. We went from 400 people up to 600 people, up to 800 people, up to 1,000 people, and then even right up to 1,200 people in those next 7 years in that little facility on Kingsmere.
Hard work and dedication from many staff members and volunteers to secure a larger church facility and to sell the Lakeview Kingsmere Church was ongoing from 2001 to 2006.
It wasn't just about a bigger facility. It was, what if we provided a place where up to 10,000 people could find a community of faith to belong to and could enhance their spiritual lives and grow their relationship with God? 10,000 people. Well, those were big dreams, and it was a godly vision for sure. We all felt that.
To assist in this very difficult process, Claudio Priolo was hired as administrative pastor in 2003. He and his wife Deb and their 4 children moved to Saskatoon from Katy, Texas. Claudio writes, "My wife Deb and I decided to leave behind a financially lucrative construction management company for a full-time position in pastoral ministry. I told God, I will go wherever you send me, because you, God, have no boundaries. Soon we were immersed in ministry, with my position and my wife Deb accepting the role as Children's Ministries Director. The next 3 years were crazy. As I reflect all these years later, I can clearly see God's hand on the church. We will hear more from Claudio and more about God's hand in moving from the Kingsmere Church to the now current facility, but that is part of the next chapter."